understanding the role of coordination and what it should be. If you look at the types of governments we have, monarchies exist to benefit the monarch. They don't exist to benefit the people. Communist countries exist to benefit the state. The democracies are the ones that exist to benefit the people. Those are the most like nature, as far as allowing every cell to live as long as they don't hurt the other cells and do their job. They get fed, they get a safe place, they all get to live with the body, right? But in democracies, when we say the well-being of the citizenry is what our job is to do, that's our goal, is to keep people safe and to keep people secure, then that's the closest to a body that we see in nature.
Wow, that's so interesting. So, um, basically, you suggest like the government's like the brain of society, and it's
Yeah, it's a coordinator. The brain, it's the function. It's a coordinator. It makes
a
sure
coordinator.
everybody does it makes the rule. It basically, the job of a coordinator is to set the goal, to set the rules, and to enforce the rules. So in a brain, because every cell shares or with a human, every cell shares the same DNA. They all share the same goal, which is to survive, and they all share the same rules, which are the DNA instructions that they have. And all the brain really has to do is enforce the rules, and that's what they do. I mean, if you get a cut on your finger, your brain will run into action. They'll send out the phagocytes to clean up the wound, and pretty soon, you'll have a scar, and then your finger will be back to normal in a few days. When you're young, when it's a little older, it takes a little more time when you're older like me. But that's the job, is to set rules, set goals, set rules, and enforce the rules. That's the job of a government coordinating unit. It should set the goals, which, like in the United States, the goal is our Constitution, right? That's our goal document. Then the legislator sets the rules, and then the executive branch and the judicial branch are the ones who sort of make sure that those rules are followed. But still, even then, we do it half backwards. But you know, the idea is generally there, that the government is that coordinating mechanism. If you have, like I said, if the goal is, like in a communist government, the goal is to benefit the state, then no, the people are just cogs in a wheel, right? They are just being told, you do this, you do this, you do that. But people, this is where we're different, is people like to choose. People have the ability to think and choose. And so when you have people who like to choose, and you have a government that says, we're going to choose for you, that's why communism has trouble working. And that's why they spend so much energy making it work, because it doesn't really meet the needs of the people. Uh, Democracy is more like, okay, it has the other problem. It's like, okay, you guys, you get to do what you want, but you can't hurt anybody else. And they say, well, we want to do whatever we want. Yes, we want to pollute the water. Yes, we want to, beat up on our neighbors so we can take their land. We're like, no, 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 you can't do that. And so making the laws are really hard for people, because we have to figure out how to make laws that follow this goal of allowing choice but doing no harm. And this is one thing where I don't think we've just done that. We don't have that basic concept set in stone in our Constitution here in the United States. We have provide for the general welfare, and preserve the common defense, and do a couple of these other things, but they're a little wishy-washy. Nature isn't so wishy-washy. They're like, hey, you do the rules, or or we're gonna punish you. We're not gonna let you. We'll do everything that you can to be a good cell in the body, but if you don't, we will make sure that we don't let you play in the body. We will kill you. And it's a really interesting comparison. But I go through in my book about how government would look, if we use some of these tools a little bit better.
Wow, that's a wonderful comparison. I really like it, and nature is like really really wonderful, right? I just
Well, it's had a long, long time to work on. It's it's survival. It
Okay.
has been around for 4 billion years
Yes.
or 3.8 billion
Yeah.
years on Earth, and they have perfected survival not by experimenting. Well, yes, by experimenting, but by having such clear accountability. So if a cell can't survive in the environment, it dies. There's no two ways about it. But you and I, if we go into business like Leo last week and his business somehow doesn't work, he doesn't die because his business didn't work. He just goes in, gets a different job, or finds out, humans have this ability to make choices and not be as accountable to them as beings in nature. So nature had no choice but to develop really good survival capabilities, because that's all there is. They're all the guys who tried and it didn't work, they're gone.
Would you say that nature's perfect?
Oh, not at
No.
all. Not at all. Nature is right now, nature, that everything you see in nature is the current state of beings or information, I might say, that fit with the environment we're living in. Nothing is perfect. There's no, the concept of perfection isn't in nature, I don't think. There's no